Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dave Sebastian, coordinator of mentoring arts programming with Wayside Youth and Family. I'm back here once again to work with you guys on doing some artwork. Today, as you saw in the title, we're working with inktense, but the title really should have said inktense and liquitex muted inks. Not exclusively muted, but also muted. We have been working on Yupo paper. This is what we've been working on. To show you guys a better example, that's the painting, that's where we're at in the painting right now. It's been coming along real good, but what we found in working on the Yupo, that it really doesn't like inktense so much. I was having a hard time activating the inktense with water. I was having a hard time getting it to stay. I figured it out, but I'm continuing to work with it. And and while I was working with it, I thought maybe I would try. Hey, here's our boy Mackie stopping by. Must be finished with school today.
Yep, I just finished.
Good job, man.
It's a little early, but
it's all good. Kids at home, school is crazy. I never would have picked such a thing. Anyway, we found that the inktense wasn't sticking quite as well as I wanted it to. So what I decided was that I would try some traditional inks and see what happened with those. Traditional inks being liquid, liquid ink. This is Liquitex ink, exclamation point. Great product, really liked them. Acrylic inks, so water-based, clean up pretty good, high saturation of color and stuff. When I started using inktense, it was because I didn't like the muted quality of watercolor. I have always used traditional inks to try to try to get the same effect, that I get from paint markers and the brighter media. Ink has always worked really well for me, which is what led me to inktense, was to trying something that hopefully had the kind of saturation that ink has. It turns out that inktense is the best solution, but these acrylic inks aren't bad either. I hope you guys can see me. I feel like the lighting today is not great. It's a rainy day out. That's probably what it is. A lot of my light is ambient light from the window here behind me. In any case, so that's what we're going to work with today. A combination of India ink. Actually, let me show you. This is our piece right here. This is our setup. Over here is literally a million bottles of ink that you can see right there. And then we're using Maltau's. Yeah. Turn these off. Sorry about that. So we're also going to use Maltau's Micron, the answer to the Micron. They're called the black liners. It's a permanent India ink. Works pretty good. I like it. Most of this background we've done using those and a number of other markers. These ones by far worked out the best. The only other one that we were using, I grab from over here, was a 005 micron, 0.005. This is a really, really small. If you guys take a look at, get in here a little bit closer, and then I will move me to over here. If you take a look at the hair on the mouse, that's about how small this 0.05 micron is. Pretty small, and probably my favorite marker to use depending on the size. If you're working on a really large piece, then obviously a 0.005 marker wouldn't be the way to go, but for this project, we've needed a variety of marker sizes. This piece is probably in the home stretch. I mean, today I'll make 4 hours that we've been working on it. Seems like a long time for a relatively simple piece. So we're going to continue and try to see where we can get to with it. I mentioned that it's Yupo paper. Yupo paper is a polypropylene. It's old garbage bags recycled, and I love that, which is why I purchased it. But it seems as though the surface really repels a lot of paint. Like I said, I was putting the inktense on and I could literally rub it off, or use the eraser and take sections of paint off. This is a neat thing, but is actually a little bit inconvenient unless it's super intentional. It didn't really feel as super intentional as I would have liked it to. In any case, I'm getting totally into talking about the artwork we're going to do today, because I'm the artist and that's what we're here to do today. But first I want to tell you guys a little bit about my programs. If you've watched any of my other 30 videos, you'll know what we're doing. Guys always make me tired. I don't know what it is. Every time I talk to a camera, I can't help but yawn. In any case, I want to tell you guys a little bit about my programs. My program is called Greenhouse Graphics, which you know if you're sitting here on the YouTube Greenhouse Graphics page. My program is a partnership between the Department of Mental Health and Wayside Youth and Family to create arts programming for the young adults of Central Mass. I work with kids 16 to 24. In connection with Wayside. Wayside is a human service agency out of Framingham. I've been with them for about 7 years. I started my work and built a basement studio in the Tempo Young Adult Resource Center, which is at 68 Henry Street in Framingham. I have a studio there that we run an open studio program in every Wednesday and Friday from 10:30 to 3 with young adults that are 16 to 26. Tempo is a youth center, a young adult resource center, and is a great spot for any young adults that need support or just day-to-day necessities like a washing machine, a shower. So if anybody out there needs those kind of services, please go to those guys and check them out. They'll help you from like really serious stuff like drug addiction and homelessness to just kind of simple time management. Great bunch of folks, though. Go see my friend Troy there. Today, so that's kind of covering what I wanted to tell you about my program. The other days when I'm not in the studio, I am in the community. I work throughout Central Mass with young adults that can't get to the studio, running very similar arts programming. So I think that's all I want to tell you. So now we want to get to the work. Exhausted, you guys. Alright, let's see what happens with this part of the project, which is just trying to get my headphones and my glasses together. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous, guys. Right. Gotta have all the gear on. You know how that goes. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so the first thing I feel like I'm going to work on is a little bit more color. I'm using this. This is also Yupo paper. Get back a little bit. Let's see my other hand. There you go. So this is also Yupo paper right here. So we're going to try to, all of our colors will be on here, and we're going to transition them over onto the work. I think we'll start with a little of this. This is a vivid green. I don't know if you guys can see that. Vivid green. Vivid lime green, this one is called. I just shook it up. You should shake inks whenever you're going to use them, for the obvious reason. Generally speaking, a lot of these paints don't really settle, a lot of these inks, but it's a good idea to shake them a little every time you use them anyway. You know what I mean? So now we're doing in here for some, some subtle detail kind of stuff. Gonna kind of see how that works. this would maybe be one of the biggest liabilities and one of the biggest benefits of ink, which is that it's transparent, you know, because then you can, you know, you got some flexibility. Okay. I want to keep making some more grass, but there really isn't a whole heck of a lot more grass around. I wish that brush was working just a little better, or that I knew where my... I have a liquitex brush that I really like to use. I did not see it in my usual spot. Nope, doesn't look like it. Just one sec, guys. Just keep my eyes open for one more thing I might need. I have a lot of water brushes. I think I will use one of those also. All right. So this is a water brush, but I don't have any water in it. So I think this will be a good brush to use for our little process here. Another thing that's real challenging about the Yupo is the ink stays wet on it for longer than it does on most of the other media that I work on, meaning I stick my hand in it a lot more because it's sitting there wet. You know what I mean? This one's working good. Okay. I like this mixing in some of this lime green with some of the other greens we're using here. I like it. I was definitely hoping to get some green blends. I haven't 100% been able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, which is all right. You know, like I feel like these other greens are doing the job. Alright. See if we can find alright. Cool. So I don't know if you guys can see looking at it, but it's pretty wet sitting there. Alright. A little too much, right? Let's see if I can push it up a little bit. So just hoping to add a little of this lime green kind of like everywhere, because you know the grass and stuff would have this color to it if this is the color I'm using on the grass. These other greens will help push down the you know, the opacity of this yellow, I mean of this green, so it'll keep it more of a blend. Easy to load too much on the brush, especially with these water brushes, which even though this one doesn't have any water in it, it still kind of streams fluid from what has been in it. And then of course the ink itself has some moisture to it, and it's hanging around, you know. But you know what obviously you don't get from liquid inks is a heavy opacity, you know, which I could get with paint marker, but is hard to get with this stuff. I think we're gonna mix a little color into this one. Probably be going back in here with the black to pull some of these, some of this grass that I've created now somewhere. Try to give it a little bit more something, maybe, I don't know, because I don't mind what's happening right here either. Alright, so we keep a little green in there. You know, important for me, make sure as much of the surface is covered. You know, I think that that's important. Otherwise, you know, I'm trying to, what I would like to do is make it look like a window into somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, you look through the front of this sketchbook and you see a window into another world. That's what I'm looking for. Right here I'm using a brush cleaning tank, which looks like this. It's pretty yucky at the moment. Don't judge me. Let's see. I think we're going to go with something. Got this interesting pink. Let's see what it looks like. See what kind of color we get out of this one. Oh, it's a regular pink, kind of. Ah, there we go. I like that. That looks cool. Oh, I like that. That pink is cool. Sorry, you guys can't even see that pink. Let's see if we can get this guy down here again a little bit. We can zoom in a little bit. Just working on these flowers up top here. Gotta make you guys see something. So I'm working on those flowers up top there with this pink. I don't know, I like it. I think that it's interesting. But I still kind of want those to be yellow. Anywhere else we could use some pink? Oh, how about in here? Alright, anywhere else we could use a little pink? Don't know, it doesn't look like it. You guys think there's anywhere we need pink? I think not. What color next? I'm going to use the tank again just for a sec because I want to use something lighter. This is yellow oxide, which is kind of a brown side of yellow. It's one of my go-to colors for sure. Always really liked it. This one I'm just gonna try to coat the whole flower in yellow and do that a few times to see what we can get out of it. There we go. Watch out for the pink. Same deal with this guy over here. And as I said, try not to put your fingers in wet ink. It's just silly. All right. There we go. Got some stuff going on there. Right. Now we gotta try something different. The only drawbacks of using a water brush without water in it is using the water brush. You can just squeeze it. Water comes out, you mix it, you're good to go. This one, a little different. Got some more of our green. I don't know if it's raining where you guys are. It's raining pretty good at my place. A little bit of these plants in here. So this is a decidedly different green. This is the muted green. I like this one too, just because of the difference, really, you know? It's a very cool different color. Right. Kind of a, I don't know, like a blue green or something. I have only so many greens, it seems. You know, I was using the inktense box, and there's an awful lot of greens in there, but I'm not sure the best way to use them. See, I think I saw another green in here. Gray. Violet. Huh. Yeah, maybe there isn't at least one other green. Doesn't seem like it though. So I've basically gone through all these inks already. Maybe we could just try to use a different color, like try to mix some of this and the green. Let's see what we can get. An entirely new color, since I'm colorblind as heck, and I don't know if this is the same or different. It's cool though. Mm-hmm. I haven't used any of this yet. This is white. Clearly I haven't used it much since I can't even open the bottle. Alright, I'm going to start with a little drip like that. This is a wicked stiff brush. I want to see if we can get it really, sort of a soft green going. Oh, well that won't work because that seems to be the pink. Let's try that again. Oh yeah. Nothing's funner than dripping ink into ink, and watching the sort of marbleized effect. Right. So all we want to do is back here is just leave some longer grass. Okay. So these guys are just to kind of like leave a sort of an impression that there's more vegetation in the background. You know what I mean? Like this will be our sort of faded stuff. that. That looks really good over there. More down here. All right. Cool. All right. So now I want to kind of think about what we want to do with some other additional areas. I'm thinking inside of the mouse's house, kind of want to use a little, I think the transparent brown, transparent burnt sienna, yeah. And try to use our extremely small brush to, you know, have some texture on the walls inside of his can. Just kind of see what we can get with it. Great thing of working with ink is that, man, you don't use much. You know, we use like a really, really small amount. Okay. Okay. Oh, I forgot to give this guy whiskers. You gotta watch out for that. I always feel like a piece is going good if I don't talk much. But that's not cool, since what we're here to do today is to talk a bit, right? So this is obviously contour shading to try to typify the inside of the can. All right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Try to make sure we're getting a little shadow, even though it's hard to do shadow with ink, but with colored inks, with black it works pretty good. Alright, little portrait in there of his stuff. Alright. This brown, could come up here a little bit too. Especially being a transparent brown. It kind of works in nature. Okay. All right. Let's jump around again. Go back into the next yellow after the oxide is some orange. Actually, I think we'll try some white. Thing to make sure of is try not to get ink on your clothes, because it may come out, possibly, but it easily may not. So, good idea to try to keep it off your clothes. Hold on one sec, guys. Thought I heard my dog outside in the pouring rain. Can't have that. Sorry, guys. So what we're doing here is to try to make something work with this flower, because I feel like it's standing out as being crappy in this drawing right now. I had figured after I finished with the painting, I would just go in with a paint marker and repair it. But it's it's good to stick with the media you've chosen. Don't cheat. Paint markers, the thing I use to cheat the most, because they're opaque, which makes them relatively easy to work with. Getting there. Okay. Seems like there's some bright colors, but mostly starting to get muted, as I suppose isn't a tremendous surprise since we're using a lot of muted inks. So just keep trying. I'm looking for, oh, what about that muted pink? I need like a red for our apples in this area here. Reds, as if I don't have enough inks here at the moment. You guys see that okay? Right. Let's see what happens with this little bit of red. Try not to put my hand in anything else. This is a reason it's good to use multiple reds, because then you can, build them up to see to create some depth, and lighting. What else do we got that's like screaming red? Probably extremely proud of his bright yellow bandana. I'm proud for him. Another problem with inks is that they dry pretty quick, so you got to be ready to work with them kind of like right away, otherwise they're gonna dry on you, which is why you only use like a drop at a time. Also, alright, so I'm going to use this guy here on his hat. See if we can get it a little bit brighter. Oh yeah, that's cool. Use this orange, a little bit of this orange in here, bring these guys up a little too. Try to give a little shadow in here, in between some of these, sort of whatever you would call them, chambers, something. It's cool really to be able to look at what I'm painting on the screen, because the screen has really different colors than they look like here. Unfortunately, it looks like the black is running. Hopefully that'll be a good thing if we can use it to change some of the, some of the stuff. Okay. Other yellow things, different yellows. I wonder if any of these whites are dry. They're still feeling pretty tacky. Right. There we go. A little yellow into those guys. Looking a little better, even though I still really hate them. Yikes. Some other color has crept in to mess with us. Or to mess with me, I suppose. Alright. That looks okay. Fill the... Oh, hey. Good thing you keep the cover on. Okay. Where to next? Oh, the little green. What do we got here? That's our friend Brown. All right. Thinking maybe a little bit more white and a little bit of the bigger brush, which is this one. Okay, just want to see if we can get a little highlight up here. Might not work. Now it's already a gray. Okay. I don't know. I get the impression that didn't do anything. Since I picked up some gray, definitely didn't do what I wanted it to do. All right. A little on the curtains. Okay. Just a little bit of highlight in there, you know, just to help this stuff look canny and stuff. All right. Okay. Hey, very easy to roll your brushes into trouble. Pay attention to that stuff. I don't very good. Alright. What else? Alright, just a little more white. Alright. Okay. White's good, you know, because white will help us pull out some stuff, make some things make sense, that kind of thing. Though I'll be honest with you, I only feel like there's so much white that we really need to use. Okay. 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 All right, where do we go from here? You know, I'm not sure. Sometimes you get to a spot where you're just not sure where to go next. I mean, I think that I will go in with the black. Excuse me, I'll go back in with black and try to figure that out. Oh, oh, thought I lost the contact. Nothing's worse than that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to lose contacts. If you decide to grow a beard like this, try not to get a lot of things under it. It sucks. What? Sorry, guys. Just trying to make sure I can get everything up and running. I like to be able to see what I'm doing. Hey! Whoa. What that is? Sounds like explosions outside my place. Alright. Let's see. Another good thing to keep in mind is try not to stick your hand in your wet stuff. You know what I mean? Alright, I'm going to try the dreaded black. Good to hold off black as long as you possibly can. Because otherwise, it's going to pull everything down and flatten it. So for this one, kind of just looking for a little bit of shadow. Oops. Now, why can't I see this? There we go. General shadow. I don't know. That brush isn't working so good. I put the paintbrush in my mouth because saliva is a really good brush binder. But don't do it too much. You know what I mean? Alright. Alright. Where are we going now? We got a little bit of black. Nothing's better than a really small brush and some black ink. Probably one of my favorite things. You can just do a lot, you know, with a small brush and black ink. You can pull out a lot of stuff. You can make a lot of things show up that didn't show up before. You can water it down a little and sneak up on things. Just kind of what I'm doing here is I'm not watering it down, but keeping it thin so that I can use it without it blasting anything out. This part is relatively detail-y, so it's kind of takes a little bit of attention, especially getting into these details. Sorry about that, you guys. You guys can't see anything. There you go. And I would guess you probably can't see anything I'm doing at that depth right there. Whoa! Alright, let's get back to what we were doing. Before I forgot you guys couldn't see what we were doing. Alright, so I was just working on this headboard part of his bed here. Been using this white so we can go back into it again. The bed going past the edge of the can was not right. Right? We don't want that. We need the edge of the can to be the edge of the can. Not inside, but outside. Friend black again. I think I'm not liking these, and I think it's because they're thread and I didn't make them thread, you know? So I think I have to try to have them be thread, and maybe it'll be easier to make them look cool. I don't know, I was just looking at is this tool right here. Not curly enough. Working with a couple of different French curves and stuff. See if I can maybe find something that looks a little wrappy. Give it a try and see what happens. First thing is, when you move a French curve, you're going to leave a smudge behind it. That guy didn't work out that good. Let's see what else we got in here. There's a whole bunch of stuff in this bag. Somebody gave it to me. I can't remember who it was. if you ever want to do something like this, just make sure you go from the bottom to the top, because if you go the other way, you smudge every line you just made. Just like that. Which is really, really dumb. Especially since I just told you guys about it and promptly did it to myself. Totally fine. Love it. I saw a cool Inktober challenge to go along with the new Dune movie, which I am a huge Dune fan. It was every day to do a different Dune character. Ben Templesmith was working on it, and he had started with Rabin, the Beast from House Harkonnen. Awesome character that he is. I do think he wasn't supposed to be alive anymore, but remakes, I guess, you know. Remakes. I like that. I think that makes a really big difference. Here, trying to find the best curve for our use here. See how this one looks. That's a mess. Yep, that's a mess. Alright. Let's put this grass back in. Okay. If this was a thimble, we'd be able to see down inside of it. I can remember which one I used over there. This doesn't look bad. Nope, just not working over here. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm just staying in one spot too long. Okay, looking a little better. So now we do the loose thread around the edges, which I think looks really good over there. Okay. All right. Just kind of throwing a little individual shadow effect going over there. And kind of throw a little in here too. Gets a little of the lighting. Okay. Oh, I think those look a little better. Even though I wish this one looked a little better. All right. There you go. I like this one a lot. The other one, yeah, whatever. Can't get everything right, you know? Can't get everything right. Let's see what we got down here. What's this guy? Our brown. That's just what I was looking for. A little black and brown mixed together. Okay. Looks funny with the French curve over it, huh? Can't even hardly see it. Go back into our friend black. Since we just touched it with the water, gotta make sure it's not too much. Okay. Okay. Oh, one sec, guys. Gotta switch a plug, you know how that goes. better never to run out of power. I wish I could say that doesn't happen, but I have run out of power mid-live stream a couple times. Looking for one thing. This is interesting. Like I said, someone gave this to me, and this one has a fishing line on it. Why, you suppose? Couldn't tell you. Oh, but it couldn't possibly be the right size for the can, right? That would be crazy. See if there's anything else we got in here that might work. Oh, well, there you go. Alright, let's try our micron. Just so we can clean that line up just a little. Oh. I don't even think this wrote on there. I think I gotta use something a little bit bigger. Let's see, I think 0.4 is the smallest I got in this set here. Yeah, and since I have two of them, that seems like I was figuring that I was gonna need it. You know the deal, yeah. Anyway, let's see. This guy worked, but I don't feel like he was marking the background. Just want to see if we can. You know, a can would have a absolutely really hard edge. Like, you know, it would be an absolute circle. Yeah, let's see, this marker doesn't want to work on here either. Or maybe the marker just doesn't work. Seems to work okay on paper. It's that this surface is, especially now that it's getting covered, is slick. And markers don't so much dig slick, you know? Or ink markers don't. So that means we can't use that one at the moment. So we're going to go back to the, hey, roll through all my paint. I'm going to go back to, yay, there we go. Had to get something that'd go right in there. And it turns out it was this little template here. Alright. Gotta make a mess. That's one of the most important parts of doing artwork. For me, is make absolutely as big of a mess as possible. Okay. Alright. Alright. I think we're going to jump over to brown again. Darker brown. Alright. This time we're going to give these guys an extra coat. Not that have to make them a darker brown since I used some brown on the inside of his little house here. Alright. Alright, let's see what else we got. We can use in here. I think we're gonna have to I got renegade thread on the brush. Alright, this guy here, he needs some help. This guy's blending into the background a big way. I don't even know if black is going to be enough to bring him out. Okay. Okay. Got his little sticks kicking in a little bit there. Just wouldn't be able to see that. Got this guy muted gray that we haven't used in a bit. Even though mice really don't have gray tails. Check it out. Alright. Got some tail going there. Gray. Oh, try not to touch it, because you'll smudge it up real nice. Yeah. Looking pretty good though. Looking pretty good. And this, using black with a brush, really allows me to do a lot. Stupid pin on my chair keeps sliding down. What's that just gonna do? Okay. You guys still with me? Kind of been a little bit now. Now we've been working on it for about an hour to about an hour and a half today. I think it's going great. I'm gonna try to see what we can do with a little vegetation with some black. And wish me luck, because who knows. Can't tell you how much cooler it is working with black and a brush. On this project, because the other methods haven't been working, which is totally lame. I kind of put my wrist on here so that I can make sure I'm not laying my hand in any ink. black is drying up on us pretty quick. Throw some more black down. Use it up. Actually, I feel like I need more black and more white.